Hey crew, how are we doing? Okay, we've got another super cool interview today with the real TW, Toby Williams, who is the founder of Mirror Vision, which a whole bunch of you have probably either used or seen on social. It's a super cool new app that effectively allows you to practice more effectively and watch the way you practice in real time. And it's blowing up. It's going really, really well. So it's fantastic to have you here, mate. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Baden. It's good.
So yeah, I think what we need to do is just talk about your story from the start, so that people can understand where this idea has come from. But let's start with what sort of golfer you are, and what you were trying to do with your game, and what you're doing with your game
now. Yeah. So it would have been 2016, 2015. I finished uni. I was playing. When I finished high school, I had aspirations of playing golf professionally, or at least a high level. And I played some high-ish level amateur golf, but it sort of like faded in and out. And then it was 2016. I'm like, no, I want to have a crack. Like I'm gonna travel. I'm gonna play some events. I'm gonna play some mini tour events. I was getting coaching in Sydney, and I just really wasn't before that. I wasn't like a super like golf nerdy type of guy. Just sort of whatever anyone said, they'll like do this. I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. That'll help my game. I never really questioned anything. And then it got to a point around when golf coaching was becoming prominent on social media. I was following some guys. I was following like GG. I was following another guy, Dana, who I ended up seeing. And it was a sort of a toss up between where I messaged both of them. I'm coming over. I'm booking a lesson. Anyway, I ended up seeing Dana, and I clicked with him, and I got along really well. I saw him for a few lessons. I traveled. I ended up probably that year playing my best golf. I Mondayed into a bunch of events. I Mondayed into an Oz Open here. I won a first stage of Q school here. So then I was playing sort of 2016, 2017. I was kind of playing like full time or whatever I could play in, whether events. And then as it happens, you sort of just run out of money and it gets tricky. And during that whole process, so when I was seeing Dana, he's like a technical guy. He's like quite a technical golf coach. And he uses lots of video, and I'm on the range there. And I'd take a video of my golf swing, and then I'd look at it, and I'd be like, that's nothing like what he wanted. And I'd go take another one, look at it again, and it's like still no different. And I was trying to get it sort of, it was just a position at the top was all I was trying to do. I was trying to get it like sort of a bit deeper with my hands, and like sort of get my wrist was always an extension. So I was sort of trying to flatten it out.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just no different. I'm like, I just need a mirror. I need a mirror, and that'll fix it, just so I can sort of get a feeling for what I'm really doing. There was nothing there. I'm like, surely I'd go stand in front of like a reflection in the window and look at it, and then walk back over and hit the balls. But it wasn't quite the same. And I was like, I just need someone. Surely there's like an app out there I can chuck an iPad on the ground, and I'll be able to see myself as I'm doing it. And obviously there wasn't, and I searched through, and I ended up finding some like baby monitors, or I think it was a security camera I ended up using, where I connected to like a Wi-Fi network. It was like this whole mess.
Yeah.
It didn't really work, but it worked for what I wanted, and I practiced with it, and I thought it was great. I used it like every practice session. And then I'd show some people that I'd be helping, or some other like golf pros that are working on their swing. I'd be like, just use this, like check it with this. And everyone really loved it. And I showed Dana and a few others, and he's like, you should do something with this. Like there's definitely room in the market for something like that. And I guess I wanted the product more than anyone. Like I just wanted something I could just throw down when I was practicing, so I could definitely like quantify what I was doing. Like when I was on the range, I'm like, if I'm feeling this, am I really doing it?
Yeah.
Anyway, long story short, built a shitty prototype, and it ended up, we go raise some funding and ended up with what we have now.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I think that all great ideas are always born out of necessity and rarely out of just trying to force an idea. And so out of everything that you said there, and there's just so much to unpack, and I absolutely love that story because I just hear so many similarities probably in my story. But I think probably the first one is like, how good is social media and the way it has democratized coaching, so that effectively you can now not only go and get golf lessons from people in person, but then you can say, well, how does that message compare to other messages out there?
Well, yeah, 100%.
So
that was my huge issue here. I would ask questions that couldn't be answered, and I'm like, these aren't tricky questions. Like, give me an answer. Like, I want to know, like I just all you say is like, why? you're just like, why am I doing that? Why have I got to change that? And then you get some like anecdotal response that'd be like, oh, because like Nicholas did that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not Nicholas.
Yeah. How does that relate to
Like,
me? Yeah.
I'm like, so like,
Yeah.
someone like Chad Campbell's got down here, Nicholas, whatever. Like what? Why?
Yeah.
And no one answer it. And then when I like on social media, you get caught out real quick if you can't answer a question, or you're just not gonna rise to the top, are you? Like if you can't.
No. Absolutely.
That's questioning everything you do.
100%, yeah, and I love that about it, because I think I've talked about in the past how I think the elite coaches have absolutely hidden behind sort of a veil of secrecy largely. You know, they sort of walk around the ropes at the US Tour, and you have no idea what they're telling the elite players. If they're telling them anything, are they technical coaches, or are they there as managers and just giving them a little bit of confidence? And what obviously social does is like, this is my message. If you don't like it, you don't need to believe in it, but at the very least, you need to have a message and be able to defend or explain why you believe something.
Yeah, for sure. I think like the top coaches that sort of like you're saying, like maybe they're just more managers. I'm like, they can get away with that though, like right? Yeah. They can get away with that because they got like elite players, but at like a more intermediate level of golf, people need help. Like they need to know some like technical things. Like they need to know how to change.
Yeah.
There's some stuff you can't do. You can't swipe across the golf ball and like get away with it and hit it 180 and hope to be like a single digit handicap. It just doesn't work. Like at a tour level, you don't need to tell them that much. If it's like manage their game, that's fine. But all the other golf coaches that people are actually seeing and going and seeing, they probably need to know more. Like they need to know their stuff.
Yeah, exactly right. And then I think most people probably don't appreciate they're two completely different skills. Like being able to take an 18
different game, yeah,
9,
different game.
That's a real coach. That's someone that can change the way someone's body's working and get them to make a repeatable motion. And then someone who is generally at the elite level, they are more men and women managers largely at the very elite level, I would say. But I think probably our tendency is to listen to the people at the absolute elite level because that's, natural. That's only natural.
Makes sense, yeah.
These guys are at the top. But what I love the people that probably use your platform, use our platform. These are the guys and girls at the coalface every day that are turning sort of 18 markers into 9 markers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that the next thing I want to unpack, because I want to get to your product, which is just so cool. I think what you talked about, what feels and what actually is. Do you know what I mean? And being able to feel the way something feels and then look at it and go, oh my God, it doesn't look like that at all. And I am obsessed with video analysis, and getting the image up and looking at the image. And often students might even say to me, oh, I don't like looking at it. And I'm like, well, I need to look at it. We need to sit down and do that because there's absolutely no way you can fix it without knowing what it looks like. And what yours does is obviously give that absolutely every single swing. And
go.
You go.
Yeah, I think that whenever someone's making or going to put the time in to make like a swing change, or they want to improve their golf, and they're seeing a golf coach, they want to make a mechanical change. It's not they're going out and improving their score, and they're making like a swing change on the range.
Yeah,
you need as much feedback as you can get. Whether it's like your friend standing behind you saying you did that right, you did that wrong, or your golf coach like pushing your arm into a certain spot, or whether it's video. Like it doesn't matter, but you need one of the above.
Yeah.
You need someone there every single swing going, yes, no, because that's just like how we learn. That's just how anyone learns any sort of skill set.
Yeah.
And I just hate seeing that whole like beating ball thing where they just like sit there and just like bang, bang, bang. You're like, what are you doing? They're like, oh, I'm just trying to do this. I'm like, well, you're not doing it. Like,
yeah.
you're not actually doing it. And then
yeah.
I was like, I can give, using mirror vision, you can connect what that feel is to what it really looks like. Absolutely. Whereas previously you couldn't really do it. There would be that big delay in the whole sort of learning loop. Like you would sort of look at it and then go back. You forgot what you just felt, step back in, you do the same bad habit.
Exactly. And that loop, traditionally, it could take 4 weeks or something before you go back to your coach and they tell you, no, that's actually the opposite of what I said. Or, no, you've been doing the wrong thing for 4 weeks. I think largely this is why people haven't got better over time, isn't it? Is that they walk out of a golf lesson, they don't stand in front of a mirror, or they don't use a product like yours. They've got no idea if they're doing things the right way, and they don't go back because of financial reasons, time constraints, all these things, to actually find out if they're doing it the right way.
Yeah, for sure. I think, well, you've spoken to him a lot. Like, I think Jake Hutt put it the best way that I've heard it. It was like, in any other skill that we learn, you break it right down. Like, you break the whole thing down to like the smallest components, and you slow it right down. He's comparing it to learning a piece on piano.
Yeah.
You don't just get like a Beethoven and play it like at 100% the first time. You learn like which note is for each finger, and then you speed it up into like a scale, and then you get to a point where you can play it at maybe 20% of the full speed, and then you work, and 6 months on you have like actual piece of music.
Yeah.
And it's the same with golf, but I think traditionally everyone was like, yeah, just take a bit of advice, go ahead, and that'll fix it. But we both know that's not how it works. You got to sit down there and you got to grind, and you need someone telling you every single shot what you're doing, and that's not typically viable. So if you can have an iPad or put that at your feet and it tells you what to do, that's hopefully just as good.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think one of the big obstacles that we have always faced is that in golf, I don't think there's any other sport or activity where you can accidentally do something almost perfect, right? So you can take someone who plays on 22, put a 7-iron in their hand on the second hole, and they hole out. You know what I mean? They've hit on the par 3, right? They've hit the best shot of their lives. Like, there is no other sport. Like, you don't accidentally stand there facing Roger Federer and like knock it past him. You don't accidentally jump into a swing and swing 50 meters in 23 seconds. Like, so unfortunately in golf, you can accidentally have moments of greatness, which makes you think you're only this far away from getting it right all the time.
Yeah.
But you're just
I think that's what no one understands about golf. It's like a game of variability. It's like poker.
Yeah.
Like, you could accidentally beat someone maybe in a hand of poker.
Yeah.
But over time, you're not going to keep hitting 7-irons, flagging 7-irons with a shitty golf swing, are you?
That's exactly right. So, trying to get that person, though, that thinks they're only moments away from it, to then go back to this granular process of, no, you got to look at it using mirror vision all the time. It's quite a difficult thing to do. But hopefully, this is our goal with Skill at Stand, obviously with yours. Like, we want to completely change that whole process so that, because I think, golf pros are just as responsible for this, because largely, it's not just a student. Golf pros are sort of, right, I'll book you in 4 weeks and I'll see you then. And, there's absolutely no correspondence in the meantime. There's no drills. There's nothing, sort of hardcore to work.
I think you and I talked about it previously. We were like, in no other industry can you, like, get a 5% like improvement rate out of your clients and stay like have it as a viable business. Yet in golf, like, that's just how it is. Like, you might have 1 out of 10 students improve, everyone else gets worse. But it's like, he's a good golf coach. I'm like, really?
Oh, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. But hopefully we'll do something about that over time. So have people surprised you with the way they've used it? Like, have they come back to you? Is there some sort of use case or something you're like, wow, I can't believe that they're doing it that way? Or?
Well, I never thought anyone would use it for putting, mainly because I'd never use it for putting, but it makes sense. People checking their setup, they'll have it. Maybe they have it down the line, looking at them when they're putting, and just sort of draw some sort of reference lines on the screen, and then have it in front of the player so they can sort of get into their posture however they want it, because obviously setting up the same each time is important.
Yeah.
Other sports, I guess, has been surprising. I sort of knew it will have application in other industries, but free throw shooting in basketball, I didn't think of that. Like, that one surprised me. But again, like, I don't understand the intricacies of every other sport. I'm sure that other sports get down to the same level of detail that we get to, where they want some sort of a body part in a certain position at a certain time. So
cool.
I thought that was cool.
And when you did design it, you obviously designed it for yourself as a student, but I think you were originally thinking, our coaches will buy this, or this will be something that coaches use. And it probably hasn't been that way. Is there, like, what's the skew? Is it, how many coaches are using it versus students?
it's probably 40-30% of the users are coaches, which I just thought it would all be coaches because I didn't think anyone else would really want to use something like this. But I think there's a lot more golf nerds out there than I first anticipated. That's for sure.
Yeah,
and that's somewhat been an issue because they sort of get people like, okay, so how do I fix my backswing? And I'm like, oh no, that wasn't my job. I was just giving something to help you with your backswing, but.
Yeah, right. So you are getting a lot of people coming back to you like, because I suppose that can be the only danger with it, isn't it? Is that, well, it's not a danger as much as it is just, all right, what do I do now? Like I've looked at it, you know, I've got the footage. What do I do now?
I kind of thought like when we're building it, I'm like, it's sort of like a similar to any other tool that just gives you feedback. Say like TrackMan, for example, it just spits numbers back at you. It doesn't really say fit into these numbers.
Yeah.
It just says your club head speed is 110.
Yeah.
And you're hitting 4 down on it. That's all it does. Like it doesn't tell you that you should be doing something. I think that's a hurdle that I have to sort of overcome where I'm like, I don't know what you guys need. I don't know what you need to do with it, but hopefully down the line we'll produce more content that can sort of help the general user that wants to use it and be like, okay, this is probably a good idea for your backswing or.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, obviously well into the future, once you get heaps of data and feedback, I mean, you could put AI into that, couldn't you? Where, you know, people can literally have their swing videos and it'll just give them data back based on fixes that other students had or things like that. So what's the best way to, I want you to, because what we probably haven't done really well to this point is explain the product exactly. Like, how does it work? And the one thing I've got to tell you before you do that is what I love about the app, which is crazy hard to do, is how simple it is. Like it's literally open it, sync to your other device. And I just think it's really beautiful in that sense. So you've done a great job. But do you want to just talk everyone through how the thing works really quickly?
Yeah, it's annoying because I'm using my iPad at the moment to make this call. Otherwise I would show you.
You can share the screen. You can share the screen. Have you got time to do that, or is that gonna? Can
I run downstairs in 20 seconds and come back up?
Yeah, go 20 seconds. Yep. Okay, that was a really fast 20 seconds. He's back already. Let's see how it works, though.
I just grabbed another phone and iPad. Yeah, so I think when I built it, I'm like, I just want this to be like really quick. So you get to the range, coach is teaching. They're like, I can just chuck this down, quickly give like the user some feedback. So it opens up on both your devices, just opens up as a camera. And then it's as simple as pushing a connect button up here, finding the other device. And then now, hopefully.
Definitely.
Oh, I had it. Yeah. Can you see that screen?
Yeah, maybe hold it a bit flatter onto the sort of reflecting your face a little bit. If you hold it flatter to our screen.
Hang on.
You're right. So the other device really, you would put everyone's different, but you might put the iPad literally between your feet or next to the ball almost so that you can look down while you've got you've got your iPhone next to you, it's sitting on a holder or leaning up against something, and then you've got your iPad between your legs on the ground so that you can look at what you look like from the side between your feet.
Yeah, I just realized I've got a beta version on this iPad, so it's not going to work.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, so essentially you're gonna connect the two of them together. It's 2 clicks, chuck it down the ground, and then you're streaming your typically it's going to be an iPhone and an iPad, so now you're streaming that iPhone to the iPad that's below your feet.
Yep.
in real time. So that was the complete goal, was to get it as close to real time. So there's like very little latency in it now. Which is what we've been working the whole time, is just get the latency as low as we can.
Yeah.
And then you can coach from either device. So you can be on the phone, drawing some reference lines on that phone, and they'll be coming up on the iPad, or vice versa, be drawing it on the iPad and they'll be coming up on both of them. So a coach will typically have the iPhone set up on a tripod, iPad on the ground, draw a reference line and be like, okay, you're going to keep your head in this position.
Yeah.
and then beat balls until you sort of ingrain that feel, I guess.
Yeah, great. So that's the exact use case. You might put plane lines up or like parameters in which you want the arms and shaft to move, and people can sort of look down and see that everything's operating within that sort of space.
Yeah.
And then so the image itself, what happens then? Like I know there's heaps of stuff you're planning on putting into the app. At the moment, effectively, the swing gets recorded and gets stored. Is that right?
Yeah, so at the moment it records that swing. You can share it between the two devices. So rather than, I think typically people practice to have phone on a tripod, lean up against the bag, whatever it is, like in a certain position, and then they've got to go back around and like look at that phone again to like review the video.
Yep.
Now you can share the video straight to you can share it straight to the iPad that's below your feet, so you can work solely from that device rather than having to back and forth between the two things.
Yeah, it's amazing. And look, I've already seen some elite coaches. I've seen Dana obviously using it, and then Jeff Smith has been using it as well with his tour players. So it's been used straight away already at the elite level. Who else is out there using it?
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I woke up one morning and Alex Noren just had it, like was just using it in his practice. Like he was just using it there. He unfortunately didn't tag us in the video, but
right.
Okay, using mirror vision, and he had the iPad on the ground because he's that technical sort of guy that loves that feedback, and you sort of know, like when he's doing those rehearsals while he's practicing, he's thinking about it quite a bit. So he's someone who looks like he uses a lot of video. Charles Howe uses it.
Yeah.
Bunch of like sort of good mini tour players of picking it up, and they usually send me videos like using the app, and mainly coaches though, I guess, at like a high. So there's Radar Pro using it.
Yep.
Dana. I sort of get tagged in videos each day, which is kind of cool to see. Sort of wake up and there's a new coach using it, which is interesting.
Yeah, I reckon it's super cool and just an incredible product. So what's your grand vision behind this, I suppose? Like, where do you see it going? Like, in a perfect world, what behavioural changes do you see, and where does this all go?
Well, we had a few. So when we it's only in the App Store maybe like 3 months, and inherently we had like some issues with the app, just some bugs, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
Yeah.
And we've got to a point where I think we got rid of most of them now, so it's running quite smoothly on all devices, and I want to see it used in other industries. So there's a couple of guys here that are going to help, and we're going to try and roll it out into sort of some physical therapy, and because it's the first time anyone's been able to see sort of their back while they're doing some sort of emotion. So if they're like walking, they can see their spine or their hip alignment or whatever it is, and someone's squatting in the gym that perhaps has some sort of a fold in their technique. Yeah. I'd love to see it used in sort of other industries like that.
I think, is there also the opportunity at driving ranges and things like that to actually have installations, or like have phone holders and things like that where people can literally, they could have 2 phone holders, really, couldn't they, from front and side?
Yeah, I just had an email. I think it's Dan McCracken he's in New York, and he has, I think, 2 indoor centers.
Right.
Where he's going to install iPads in each bay. Yeah. The user brings their phone. They can connect it. They can connect the phone and the iPad, have a session while they're practicing on mirror vision. The video is stored locally on each device. Yeah. At home, they can practice if they want, whatever.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think with our product as well, like we've been speaking to some driving ranges, and what they actually want to do is they want their coaches to be available 24/7, right? So obviously, you can't always get a golf lesson when you want it. If you're a professional and you're working, 12 hours a day, you can only get down for your lunchtime. At our driving range where I teach out, obviously it's super busy from 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock at night. And what they want to do is actually install phone holders there so that people can literally film themselves and upload it to their academy on Skillist effectively, so that anytime the students at the range, they can, not only can they find a coach to learn from, but they can just see if they're working.
So You're putting a golf coach in every single hitting bay.
Exactly right. Putting a coach in every single bay, so that it's such a similar philosophy to yours in that, just so that that every session means something. It's not just a case of hitting a couple of C's, hoping that you're getting, hoping you're getting better.
Yeah, I think there's been so much bad advice in golf for so long now.
Yeah.
But I think it's social media for sure has been the catalyst to sort of change that. And you can get, if there's the only golf coach around you who's going to give you bad advice, you can go see someone else. You can go see someone in, I don't know, wherever, New York, if you want.
100%. Yeah. I mean, that's our view. It's the complete democratization, which just sort of gets back to the original thing that you had, where, you went to a coach and went, well, this isn't right. I'm not getting the information I want. And previously, you literally had to get on a plane to get on a flight to see Dana. That's a 13-hour flight out of Sydney to LA.
It's ridiculous.
So if we can change that completely so that you can now go and see him or get unbelievable technical advice from him in moments rather than, literally that's a week you would have to do and spend $5,000 just to go and get a golf lesson.
Yeah, well, more than a week. It costs a fortune. I spent all my money I spent every dollar I had trying to see a golf coach.
Yeah, it's crazy. No,
you've made it. What's a typical lesson cost on Skillers?
Probably averages at about $70 or around about that, $60.
So I just reinstalled the current version, so we're good. So I'll give you a quick demo now.
The definition of infinity. There it is.
There you go. So you got one on the tripod, which I've just put down on the table here, and you hit the connect button, finds the device, and hopefully a picture of my mug will pop up in a second. There you go.
There it is.
So that's coming from this one here.
That device there, yeah, cool.
Straight across.
Look at
and
that.
Then you can draw. You can put reference lines on either device.
Yeah. Do you want to show the tool? Just show everyone the tool quickly how that works.
Yeah. So I want to show you can draw from the other one, but it's too hard. I don't have enough hands.
So if you draw on the other, okay, go. Sorry.
That's what I wanted to show you, but I don't have enough hands to hold everything. But you can draw from either one. So maybe you'd want a shaft plane, whatever it is. Just sort of reference lines. And I think that's why it's good. A coach probably doesn't typically need them when they're looking at a video, but I think when you give it to a student, if you want to say, keep your head in this box.
Yeah.
So you could draw a box around that head, or you might want to teach them how to set a camera up and then have a line maybe through their shoulder, you're going to keep the club, the center of mass below this line the whole time.
Yeah.
And it gives the user, a coach can sort of see that, I think, without having to draw all over a screen.
Yeah.
But for the student, it's good to have some sort of a guideline that they can they don't need to think technically. They can just go, all I need to do is have my hands hit that little spot and keep doing that until they change the motor pattern.
I just, I absolutely love it, mate. I just think it's the future, and I honestly do see a future where people are practicing constantly with this. You don't even think about going to the range without having this sort of tech in front of you. I think it's awesome. So we'll wrap it up. It's been a great chat, but how much does it cost, I suppose, and how do people access it, and what's the yearly fee or subscription?
Yeah, so go on to, it's just all through the App Store. So you download on both devices. It's free to download. And as soon as you connect the two together, we'll trigger a purchase. It's $26 a year.
Right, nothing.
We're going to, in the next sort of couple of months, we're going to roll out an affiliate program for coaches. So all the coaches that are watching this, send me a message, whatever it is, I'll chuck in the database. Because we want to make it cheaper for the students, your students who are using it, and we're going to change the way that the payment works a little bit, so it'll make it cheaper for the end user anyway. Yeah,
awesome, mate. That's super cool. So how should people get in contact with you? Do you want an email address, or even follow you on Instagram or something?
Instagram's probably the best. I probably will get the notification for that the quickest. Yeah, just send me a message on Instagram, or you can send me an email. It's Toby at Mirror Vision Golf.
Okay.
any sort of avenue you take, I'm going to end up with a message anyway. So
Yeah, perfect. All right, mate. Thanks so much for your time. Love your vision, and hopefully, in the future we might be able to do something together, and we can sort of we can both help each other facilitate.
For sure, yeah. I think it'll be a pretty cool future in golf coaching, I reckon, in the next 5 years or so.
Yeah, great. Awesome, mate. Really appreciate your time, and I'll be playing golf with you in Sydney. So.
Yeah, thanks, Baden.
See you, buddy. Bye.